For everybody who's watching right now, so many people want to win, get followers, make money. If you can get into the world of that fucking sucked and was the fucking best, is that true? Would you agree?
100%. Gary, how are you, buddy? Welcome back to the world.
Thank you, man. It's good to be back.
I hope your vacation was good. I hope that you got to relax. That's nice.
I did. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. I do appreciate the hair. I love it.
Yeah, just why not, right? I was like, I'm not going to overthink it. What's been going on?
Getting back to work, which is good. Been a couple of the shows have gone back into production, in this new crazy COVID world, but we're doing good. Getting back to work is nice.
Are things going, are live action, like are people starting to film again?
Yeah. We're able to do some, we're in pre-production now, and with, just being careful when we're out there in the public, we'll have to be okay. And then we're doing a show from home called Dinner Party, where we just basically have dinner over with each other remotely from our homes, which has been kind of fun to do. Yep. So that's been great, and we're doing that again now. And I had my COVID projects are going good. I have my books coming out. I did a book while I was locked up called The Dog Father about my dogs.
I love that.
All my rescues. Yeah, it was really fun. I've always been a self-starter, so I've always I taught myself the program. I self-published it. I took all the photos in my house. It was a really fun project, and I'm proud of it. So,
Joe, based on your career, just because I push it so much, tell everybody how overnight success you were. Please, thank you. Please paint a picture for people on how powerful. First, tell everybody who you are, because there's probably a segment that doesn't know, but the majority do based on the comments. Where you are in your career, but truly teaching patience a little bit. There's so many people in here that are destined to win and achieve what they want, but the real one variable that I think will stop them from getting there is lack of patience, not enjoying the process of eating shit. Yeah. Just would love to get your perspective on it, just knowing enough about your career to know that I'd like to even hear it.
Yeah. Well, we formed a comedy troupe. I'm Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers. I'm a member of the Tenderloins comedy troupe. Me and my 4 best friends are on the show. We met freshman year of high school, so I know them over 30 years at this point. And we basically started an improv comedy troupe and tried and failed for about 16 years of trying to come up with different ways to quote unquote make it either in TV or movie or whatever. And we had a couple TV shows that didn't make it. They just made pilot and never went to series. And we finally stumbled upon our version of Impractical Jokers, which is our version of a hidden camera comedy show where we make each other the butt of the joke. And we're in our 9th season now. So we've been doing over 200 episodes, and I'm fortunate enough to.
The 16 years of failure.
Yeah.
With such a big group, it's not just one person.
Yeah.
And I don't know this, so you're going to answer for me. Did some guys quit and take real jobs? Like what happened? When was if I asked you what was the single closest moment to this actually not happening, what was it? What year was it? What was the circumstance?
It was about 1 week before we came up with the idea for Impractical Jokers. Swear to God, it was our last idea. Yeah. It was our at the buzzer 3-point shot. It really was. We were, and it was me. We had gone, the stuff we were doing, we'd gone down the path of acting, where we're doing sketch comedy. And I'm funniest when I just do this. This is my type of humor. This is how I made my friends laugh. It's just me being me, and I'm not necessarily an actor. I always wanted to be behind the camera, direct, produce, like that. So I was not really comfortable with the way it was going. I was like, guys, this isn't, I love you, but this is not for me. And it was always a side hustle. We had four of us all had separate jobs during filming. Sal was a bartender, so he would go bartend at night, then come back and come to set and film all day. Q was a fireman, New York City fireman. He would work his 24, then come and film all day. I was a baby store salesman. I worked at this high-end baby store called Giggle, where I would sell high-end
Giggle was huge. I probably bought a stroller from you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
On the Upper East Side?
Yeah, man.
No.
I opened that store. Yeah.
On what? Lex and 74 or something like right now.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah. My girl Barb was the manager. Yeah, she was. Yeah, so I did that, and then so we were all doing that, and for 2 years. But I had to they let me take a hiatus from Giggle when I shot the pilot, and then they picked up the first season. I needed 6 months off, and I was like, "Hey, I need 6 months off. I'll be back." And the CEO was like, "No, it's all right. You're quitting. You're not." Yeah. So I was like, "Okay." So I was the first one to jump out. I was like, "This thing's got to work, guys," because I've given it up. I put all my eggs in this basket. So and since then, just been working hard and hustling. But I think for sure, what you're saying is like, definitely the failure molds you into the success you're going to be, because if you don't have that failure, you're going to be a guy who doesn't know how to handle and appreciate success. And I think that's a big part of why some of these people fade out. Or
to me, it's kind of like the sports card thing right now that I'm completely upset. Like, Joe, I'm not joking. There's now a 30% chance that I'm going to quit everything I do and become a full-time sports card trader.
That's fantastic.
And it is fantastic. And it's weird because 30% is a big number.
And you do 1,000% of stuff. So
right, that's right. But I'm telling you, like, literally, like, it's because what I recognize in it is when you love your process, you're in your best spot. And, being honest to myself, listen, I'm so in love with Tea with GaryVee content, being this business, the CEO of my big companies and all this. I really love it. But man, doing research to 2 o'clock in the morning on eBay and Google to like see if I can find an angle in sports cards that like some weird, like there's a sugar daddy. Remember sugar daddies?
You better define that, Gary. They get yourself in trouble.
Right. Thank you. Sorry. You're sugar daddy, the candy, not sugar daddy.
I got you.
Like some of the guys that are watching right now are living. They had a sports card that was very weird because the candy was weird. Like a very weird shape. Nonetheless, like it literally is this set that's kind of worthless, and I'm like, actually, I don't think it should be. Or maybe it's not going to be because it's more rare than the regular cards from these athletes. So like going through that intellectual process of trying to find things that people don't see, which I do with social media and marketing and what I'm known for, in the form of trading cards with the psychology of art, in that kind of like, it's why I love garage sailing, this notion of I'm going to buy this for $38 on eBay, but I really think I'm going to sell it for $9,000 in 12 years when the world decides, wait a minute, this Hank Aaron's card from 1954 made by a cookie company is so much more rare than Topps.
Right.
Maybe it's actually worth much more than Topps instead of much less. Like that shit.
Yeah.
I love my process. The same way that I'm sure you guys did gigs, bombed, got
terrible.
Especially because you guys are East Coast guys, so like we're not in we're not in Milwaukee where people will be a little more cordial. This is like literally like guys yelling at you and saying like, "Get the fuck
boo," punching you.
Fuck you, not even boo. Like but then I picture you guys having a beer afterwards and kind of going into that sucked and was the fucking best.
Yeah. I mean,
for everybody who's watching right now. So many people want to win, get followers, make money. If you can get into the world of that fucking sucked and was the fucking best, is that true? Would you agree?
100%. You got to enjoy what you do. Like, fun in the failure. That's basically the mantra you have to have. You got to have fun while you're failing, because that's that fire you're talking about. Like anything you think about, when you can't get something off your mind, I mean, that's the thing you need to chase. That's the way you got to go after it. Either if it's whatever you want to do, if that thing that keeps whispering in the back of your head, you got to listen to the whisper sometimes, I think.
I think that's right. You have any questions before we get out of here?
I would love one. Everybody, first of all, I just want to tell you, fanboy a little bit. I love you. I love what you do. I love your messaging. You're fantastic. I think it's very important, especially for the kids today, to have people to look up to. And I have 2 kids, and I'm thankful for people like you out there. Thank you. I will say that I've also been called the GaryVee of comedy. I don't even know what that means, but
handsome and smart.
That must be it. But I am very much like you. I come from, like a place where fuck what other people think. But there's also a line there, and I talk about that, and I teach about this line too. But what you always say, you don't give a fuck what other people think. But what are your thoughts on not caring what other people think versus listening to constructive criticism that's coming your way that you don't want to hear?
I only believe in the audience. It's almost like, oh, Joe, I'm not in love with constructive criticism from somebody that's in between me and the audience. I'd rather go to the audience, let them shit on me. I love that. They're only right. The world is only. I sit here with this weird thesis of sugar daddy cards, but if they fail, the audience was right. I wasn't. Somebody who's been in the sports card business for 20 years saying to me, hey, I've been around the block, kid. These won't be anything. I don't believe it. It's actually, ironically, what's happening in sports cards. It's what happened in the wine business. It's what's happening with VaynerMedia. So you grew up in a world where somebody had to say yes for you to get to the audience.
Yeah.
So you had to very much have a different relationship with another human being's constructive criticism, AKA their opinion.
Yeah.
I got really addicted to the internet and still am. You know, everyone's very mad at it and it's bad and the Russians, and I get it. But it is still the platform that does not have a gatekeeper that lets me be me. No, this show, like I'm brushing my teeth 6 minutes before I'm, calling Wine Library to get there, and then boom, I'm here. We're here. And nobody's in our ears right now saying no, less of that, or don't say fuck again, Gary, or so I'm a very big fan of not letting somebody else's opinion dictate your happiness, because it's actually doesn't come from an East Coast, rugged fuck everybody. It actually comes from empathy. I know that nobody knows me.
Right.
Right, Joe? They're making a hot take on a moment in time.
Yeah. I think you need to cheer people too. What I do too is I have tiers of friendship and we joke about that. But if somebody gets in your life in a way and when they say something, it sounds different than somebody else saying it. You know what I mean?
It's funny you say this. I say this to a lot of entrepreneurs that have had some level of success who are really struggling. This is where comedians have an incredible advantage in the new world. Most people have thin skin and can't put out content because they're so sad when people leave negative comments. Right? That's why stand-up is so hard. In some way, Joe, I think almost everyone's doing some version of stand-up, not as hard, but they're putting themselves out there and
100%.
Right?
Getting judged. Yeah, getting judged on what.
And I've been thinking a lot about this. I struggle with people judging me in the comments around business because I've accomplished things and I would need to know what they've accomplished to allow it to carry weight. It's kind of like athletes. I laugh when me and my buddies sit around and critique Paul George. He's one of the 50 best players in the world. None of my friends on this 30-person thread the other day that are taking a complete shit on Paul George. Shitting on him. And I'm saying to myself, this guy's one of the 50 best players in the world right now, for sure. And none of the people on this thread can make 3 consistent jump shots wide open.
They called him a piece of shit. They're oh, come on, man.
And so for me, when somebody's like, GaryVee, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and then I go to their account that I spend 10 seconds on, I'm like, I have my 23 years of work and success. You have a fake Gucci watch to try to make yourself feel better. I'm going to be okay. So to your point, you've got to judge the judger. I respect criticism, but I respect people's opinions. I like hearing it, but I only believe in the audiences, the end consumer.
Yeah, smart.
Yep,
it's great.
I love
it. Good answer, Gary. Gary, good answer, buddy.
Dustin, you take over. I just got to grab this coffee.
Take care, bud.
Bye, Joe. Love you.
I guess I'm taking over. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.